give us a number. And I told them, I was like, look, they're probably just gonna want you to tell them what number you're willing to offer, but I'll ask.
They have money to put down.
Yeah.
How are you guys?
What are your names?
You get financed.
Awesome.
Under the put down.
Nice to meet you guys.
I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know.
I'll find that out.
I'll work with you guys.
Is it hey?
Y'all spend a lot of time up here?
Say some.
Are y'all gonna be real estate when you grow up, or there's something cooler? He wants to sell.
All right.
That's cool, man. I support that.
Hey,
Hey,
how are you, buddy?
I was doing great.
How's your lead going?
Pretty well. I just talked to a college friend who might have a referral for me in Houston.
Sweet.
That's pretty exciting. He wants to buy a house. He's got a friend who wants to buy a house. He's got another friend who wants to buy a house. He's got a girlfriend who's moving from Colorado. Yeah.
Does she need help selling hers in Colorado?
I think that she lives with her parents still, but that's a connection to Colorado.
Love it.
Maybe with leverage. And he is a drag racer. So I might be able to get some drag races.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean,
That's totally worth it.
yeah, exactly, right?
I don't even make any money. I just want to do that.
You ever heard of 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 1,500 square feet? And it's a log house,
It's a log house.
and
It's
it's
a
solid wood on the
two-room house.
inside. So what it says,
It's crazy.
Golly.
it looks rough on the outside, but you think if you clean, pressure wash.
Probably. Just like one thing. She could have a referral for you. And do it, what?
So I reached out to my guy, remember you told me, I was talking about the guy who's doing esports stuff around here.
Yeah.
So I reached out to him this morning. He does have a small venue here in Hammond. He said, yeah, he said, I'd like to, so I'm busy right now, so I'd like to set you up later this month. He said, he has a big event in NOLA that he's preparing for, and I was asking about it. He said, yeah, he said, for the past 5 years, I hold the largest fighting game tournament in Louisiana, in New Orleans, with over like 300 entrants.
Nice.
And, you know, so anyway, I didn't even know that he was the one that ran that tournament up there. But yeah, he was definitely interested in having lunch and.
Dude, let's set it up.
Plans.
Yeah, let's set it up. That'll be fun.
Super cool.
All right, let's check to make sure.
We had another question for you that I'm gonna ask you after.
Oh, you want to ask it now?
Well, so, Caitlin and I both got people who are interested in the same property.
Fight to the death.
Well,
Oh, that's not the right answer.
I told the girl that I was gonna send the application to her,
Okay.
and then, Graciela sent it to her, and Caitlin's person filled it out because they are related. So I was like, we were like,
They all have the same client?
basically,
Arm wrestle.
I was like,
baby.
I was like,
So here's what we do.
okay.
You two do all the work and we pay Peyton.
Yeah.
That's how we solve
What do we do, what? Did I hear my name?
it.
You get a free
Yeah,
check,
yeah,
man.
don't worry about it, don't worry about it. I take care of it for you.
All right.
Like, you know, Caitlin got the person who's actually paying for it. So I sent the application, we were like, I was like,
Oh, that's all right. You know, I like it. It's a weird quandary.
Yeah,
it
so
is.
I'm kind of confused though too, because Graciela sent me the application that they filled out, but they, from what I understand, all 3 of them need to have put out an application, correct?
Are they over 18?
Yeah.
Ready?
Okay.
Yeah, I want all.
So then I'm gonna call her back, get them to send another application with the lady, with his lady as a co-signer, because that's the.
Well, I need to clarify with her, kind of looking at the application, I need to clarify with her if it's just for them two living in the place, is she the co-signer, or she's gonna be living?
Yeah, just get clarity Larry run it, we'll figure it out, but yeah, whoever's gonna live there has to do full application, and then I want the co-signer's info.
Well, I mean, if they're engaged, it'd be so weird to have your mom.
I think from things like,
You never know.
it seems like, I was looking at the application and it looks like she's gonna be there with them.
All right, let's get started.
Okay.
So, wanted to go through, thanks for being here, that's awesome, I love people, right? And, just having a crack, see, right, shiny faces. So I wanted to go through, Rich and I were talking the other day about how, hey, assistants. It'd be helpful for you guys to have some numbers, right? To be able to throw out with different personality types, right?
Yeah.
So I went ahead and calculated these out for May, so you could have them. So by definition, we are a group when it comes to Keller Williams and awards, right? Or just for comparisons, right? The PC team doesn't, we don't get to count your units or anything like that, right? But just if we're going to compare, we're not a team when it goes to Keller Williams. We're a group, and what that means is there's more than 2 licensed agents in it, right? So you can be called anything, right? So the Will Frederick team has more than 2 agents, so he could technically be a group, right? When it comes to stuff, right? So I looked at this, and so these were the 3 that stood out. So for May, listings taken volume, right? So this is the volume of listings taken. So we ended up number 3 when you look at our numbers, which is pretty cool. So the Cordell Eustace group, right? So Brett Cordell and Lizzie Eustace, right? So they've got a lot of commercial stuff. They took almost 4.8 million. Your home team, which is Jason Lipscomb, right? Took 3.3. And then on this, because we're not officially in the system competing against these people, it was Ram Properties, right? So 3 pretty all-star stud groups, right? Well, if you look at our May listing taken volume, we were at almost 2.4. So that makes we're number 3, right? You guys should be proud of that.
So we're $1 million behind Jason.
We're just under $1 million behind Jason of what his group took.
Wow.
Right? So that's pretty good. What's your question?
How many teams altogether, like Keller Williams? Like,
Oh,
if
I
we
don't
were
know.
Competing against all of them. you know?
I honestly don't know the total numbers, but like this pulled the top 7 group,
Okay,
right? So we're the top 3. So
So we beat Will, we beat John.
we beat Will, we beat John, we beat Jamie Mixon's team, we beat Ram Properties, we beat Team Navigators,
nice.
right? So when you think of like the stud people,
Yeah.
you guys are doing cool, right? So second one, here's closed volume. So total closed volume for May, we ended up closing 2.419 million. So that puts us at number 4 for closed volume for May. Hey Ed, there's Steve-O.
Tell him to turn off that video while he's driving.
Hey,
Not safe.
hey Ed. Hey superstar Steve. Don't die. Drive in the car.
Is he sleeping? Is that
What is he doing? Is he alive?
He's looking under his sunshade. You don't have bifocal, Steve. All right. So close volume for May, we're number 4. So your home team, right? Jason Lipscomb team closed just under 6 million. Ram Properties closed a little over 3 million. Cordell Eustace closed 2.8. Then we were 2.4, and then Will at just under 2.2, right? So not only did we take a ton of listing volume, we closed a bunch in May as well, right? And then for top GCI, right? So that's gross commission income that you guys are getting, right? So gross commission income, your home team was 128,000. Cordell Eustace Group, just under 96,000. And then us at number 3 was just under 83,000. And then Ram Properties 78, Will 57, John 44, Team Navigators 37, Mixon 16, right? So you guys are in the top 3 to 4 spots right now in May. And May wasn't a huge month for us, right? It was a good month, but it wasn't a super stellar month. If we look at June, right? So let's see if I can control less. So there's our June numbers, and people on here, I'm gonna share my screen with you. Share. Okay. So May, this is where we had the 2.4, right? We had 10 closed units. So we're a little behind on my goal numbers, but that's okay. We had 10 leases closed. We had 82,000 in total GCI, right? We gave 17,000 a company dollar, right? But what you guys want to be able to talk about with your clients is something along the lines of, hey, Miss Pam, right? We're in May, we're consistently in the top 3 in our entire teams for our market center, right? We're competing against all the big guys, right? So in May, we closed $2.4 million worth of property. That means we had 10 sales, and we actually helped 10 other families get into leases as a group, right? So we had 20 closings when it comes to our team, right? I did the math yesterday. If you take all of our closings, right, just these, not counting leases, but if you take just these closings, we average a closing every 3 to 4 days, or 2 to 3 days. Yeah, so it's like every 56 hours or something, we have closings for the first 6 months. Like, that speaks to some people.
We put a family in a house every 56 hours.
That sounds pretty good, right? Well, it's true.
So how many agents are in the PC group?
So this represents 30 agents, but not every one of them is producing. Right? So when you look at it, remember Pareto's principle, right? It's the 80-20, right? So of those 30, you're looking at about 6 who are really consistent. So if I look at May, right? We have the Dirks, Stacy, that's 2, Mark's 3, Michelle's 4, Steve's 5, Rosa's 6, Pam's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 agents contribute to May, right? So that was basically 1 closing per agent, right, in May. If you look at June, so June, we ended up closing over 3 million, right? Which is awesome, right? That's our second time for the year. We had 105,000 in GCI, 22,000 in company dollar, which is our second biggest month, right? Across the board. 14 closings, 11 leases, right? So if I scroll this up and we look at agents, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, you counted some for your showing. 13, yeah, so 13, right? So we got about a third in June, about a third of our agents in production, right? My goal is to get at least 50% of you guys in production on a routine basis. I'm never going to have 100% because some agents just aren't going to do things, right? Some agents have 2, 3 jobs. They took real estate. They thought they were going to do it, right? You three for sure and Steve are starting to see like really heavy lead gen takes a while, right? To really kind of get into this. So we're never going to have perfect numbers, but my goal is to get more and more. So the last thing numbers I wanted to talk to you about is hey, Jessica. So there's our year-to-date numbers, guys. So year-to-date, we're just under 13 million, right? We closed just under 22 million last year, so we're ahead of pace on that, right? 71, I put our goal as 145 closed units for the year. So our gap is 74, right? So we're about on pace with our, you know, what I thought we could probably push for the beginning half of the year. I don't have a goal for the GCI because obviously some houses are more expensive, some are less expensive, right? And then I put a goal for our company dollar at 254,000. Now, just so everybody is aware, especially on the calls, this is a huge stretch goal from where we were last year. So last year, without any intentionality around it, we closed 161,000 for company dollar. Okay, so I want you to think about that. I took that times 150%. That was like 150%, right? So I had
How much last year?
161, and I put it to 254, right? So our gap is just kind of under what we did last year total, right? So I want you guys to see this because 1, I want you to know about it, right? 2, I want you to see that I do the same thing I'm telling you guys to do, right? I'm not setting the goal down here. I'm gonna set it up here. And if we end up only closing 205,000, is that still better? You're darn right that's better, right? So this is important for you guys to know for that, and for you to see you guys are a top producing team, right? So I want you to start acting like it. I want you to start having a little bit of a swagger that goes along with that, because we got a member of the Will team that just walked in. We beat him in all 3, right? Gotta love him, right? So
I have a little vacation for 2 weeks in June. Just wait for the July.
right, okay, all right. Well, these are the May girlfriend. So, no, she gonna be dangerous now. She pulled throttle. She's ready to go. So anyway, I want you to see these. I want you to be having these thoughts. I want you guys to know, right? Because one of the things, in my opinion, right? Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that we all fall into that trap of comparing our insides to everybody else's outsides, right? And we look at Will, we look at Stacy, we look at Jason, we look at John, we look at all these big teams, and we go, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know the steps for me to get there, right? You're there. As a unit, you guys are there, right? Well, what do they have? They have individual agents like you operating at a level that when you aggregate those together, it makes it really intimidating for us to have that conversation. Go, ooh, I'm going up against Jason. He closed $3 million in that month. Yeah, so did you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Their counter argument back is, well, you guys have 30 agents. Yeah, but only 10 of them were doing something. And 4 of those were leases, right?
How many people on this team?
I honestly don't
He's
remember how
got
many.
a pretty small team. He doesn't
Now,
have
yeah.
a large big. I mean, he's got primarily 2 primary buyer's agents, and he's the primary listing agent. And then he's got a little bit. He's got one other like commercial listing.
I want to say 5 or 6
Yeah.
total.
Yeah, it's
Including
a big team.
I would say, I think 7-ish with his admin, you know?
Yeah.
So if you look at that, it's pretty comparable to the number of people that you guys are operating with next. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So is this helpful? what conversations are you gonna be able to have around these numbers and these numbers now that you're looking at it? Non-rhetorical.
Already knew a conversation, like between us,
How are you gonna use this? Just having numbers doesn't help anybody.
gives us a goal to shoot for.
Okay, so it gives you a goal to shoot for. Love it.
It'd be nice to know what our best month is too, and then collectively we all try to beat it. So like, it looks like it was March probably,
So far, it's March.
right?
That's the best month that we've had since I took over. Right? So if we look back at, just for comparison wise, if we look back at end of last year, right? So 2 million, just under 3, 2.7, 1.4, 1.6, 2, 1.2, 2.3. We don't talk about November. And then 1.8, right?
Yeah.
Because it's under a million. We pretend that it's not there, right? It's the only one. So we closed just over 21 million.
It's that bad day. Yeah.
Right? Well, remember, we've got to look 2 months in the past. So if the numbers in November were low, what were people doing in September? Right? So that these are lagging indicators, guys, right? So we have to remember that, right? So it's great that I can show you the June numbers and we did 3 million, but what does that mean? That means in March and April, you guys were doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're talking to people, et cetera, right? So I can speak for Steve and Abe and Cody and Rich right now. They're intentionally having 26 conversations with people a day, right? That they're doing the sales team 6 stuff. So they're having a lot of conversations, doing a lot of lead gen. Well, that's going to start showing up for them August, September, October, the end of 2021. They're going to start to see the fruits of that. So at the end of our year, our numbers should shoot up based on their activities. But the same thing, the same conversations have to happen with you guys, right? And it's really hard sometimes for us to wrap our heads around that, because like you go to the gym, you're excited, you want to lose weight, and then you wake up the next day and you're still not in shape. Well, I stay excited for a week and then I start slacking off, right? It's hard to keep that motivation. That's where the accountability that Lindsay and I can help you with, if you let us, if you have the conversations with us, if you talk about your 411 and your goals, if you meet with us, if you're coming in. If you're trying to do it on your own, that sucks, right? Why are people more likely to go to the gym if they call Caitlin and say, hey, I'm going to meet you there at 7? Well, I'm going to go because I don't want Caitlin to call me and be like, I'm here, where are you? Right? So I want you guys to start sharing more with your goals, doing your 411, reaching out to other people, right? Those 4 are using GroupMe to stay on top of each other, or like, hey, where you at? Like they called me this morning, hey, where are you? They don't need me for their lead gen, but they were like, where are you? Right? It's staying on that accountability, right? So I'm gonna show you all of, so here's the whole year so far, what we've done, right? Just under 1.1, 1.4, 3.5, 1.4, 2.4, and 3.
So is March always like a really big year? Like people are hitting it hard at the beginning of the year, you know, they have year-long goals.
That's a great question. Let's go back and see what the March was before.
But your second and third quarters are all your.
So March was a pretty big one, right? February was a pretty big one, right? So I learned this from Dawn, and obviously it's based on statistics, but your year is broken up pretty much statistically always the same. Your first quarter and your last quarter are about 20% of your business for the year, right? So 20% and 20%. Your second quarter and your third quarter are 30% respectively, right? So January, February, March, about 20% of your yearly business. April, May, June, July, August, right? 60%. And then October, November, December, 20%. Well, why? Well, it's wintertime, number one, right? Not a lot of people are moving around Christmas in January, and sure, right? When do people start getting out and about? Spring, and summer, right? They're spending money on Christmas stuff, right? It's just statistically the way the human brain works. Your biggest time is spring and summer, always, right? So they say make the hay while the sun shines, right? That's why you guys are having showings and doing all these things. But if you get intentionality around, I'm going to make sure that my last quarter rolling into my first quarter is on point for 2022, that starts now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you're working in July right now. Well, that's August, September, October. You're working on your fourth quarter numbers right now. Right? Now, are you going to have some that close early? Sure. Are you going to get some leases? Sure. But you're working on your fourth quarter right now. Well, if you really put your foot on the gas and work on your fourth quarter now, and that starts leading you into the beginning of the next year, why can't you be the ones who have a end of your year and a beginning of your year that are 30, 40% of your starting off? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Questions on, so I still want to answer my question. What conversations are you going to have using these numbers for your lead gen or for your conversations in your buyer presentations or listing presentations?
You can let your sellers know that we're getting houses sold quickly.
Yeah.
And you can let your buyers know how many, that we put a family in a house every 58 days.
Yeah.
Say, hey, we're the top 3 producing.
And we're kicking Jason loose on that.
I mean, like a lot of people are like, how old are you? How many deals have you done? I'm like, well, my team, we've been closing one every other day for the past 6 months.
Correct. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Throw that monkey away.
Right? So remember how we talked about the other day, some of you, I said, stop handling the objection that they're throwing at you. Handle the objection you want to handle.
People don't ask it.
Right? So you don't want to handle the age objection, right? Yeah, I'm 18. Oh, well, but the team I'm on is kicking butt. We're putting somebody in a house every other day.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't care if you're 18, right? You're not just getting me. You get me with all my unique value and what I do, and you get my team that's kicking butt, and you get the #1 team in the state, the region, and the world.
Yeah.
And what other conversations are we having? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about all my other objections. Because
Exactly.
Always turn a negative into a positive.
Sure.
You're young and hungry.
That's right. So the other thing, right, if you look at this, if you want to even add to that, right? So if you add in your leases, you're at 108, right? We've helped 108 people get into their properties in the first 6 months, right? Well, that's a big deal, guys. That's a lot.
Gives you credibility.
Absolutely, right? And it's not like we're making up the math. Go ahead, Galen, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, you can add one, I got one in July 1st.
Yeah, so look, I'm already tracking July, guys. So we've already got 2 sales. Kaylin's got 1. Christiane just closed 1. Pam's got a sale and a lease, right? And then there's a couple other ones that, just FYI, if you guys see Jay LaFrance or talk to him, he's got $1 million on his desk right now that he's trying to get completely under contract today. So like that'll be $2 million in the last 2 weeks. That's a pretty big deal.
that is awesome.
Right? So give some love to him too. All right. So I want to do a little activity real fast, except for Steve, because I don't want him to die. All right.
We're worried about you, Steve.
We are worried about you. We've seen you. You're on mute. We've seen you drive. We've seen you drive in person.
Eyes on the road.
Now your camera's off.
Oh, God.
I don't want to die either.
All right. Don't die. All right, so, do me a favor, everybody close your eyes. That's all right.
Oh, I definitely don't want to die.
Yeah, we're gonna play heads up, 7 up, right? So close your eyes. It is December 31st of this year, so it's the end of this year. We're a little under 6 months in the future.
What should I do? My CE.
So that happens, December 30th.
Right, that's the answer I've ever heard
That's
for
what I
that.
do at my New
Right.
Year's Eve party.
All right,
And
So we're
I have to pay for my renewal of my license.
right, we're 6 months in the future, right? So we're the end of this year, and you guys are happy with your calendar year for real estate. You're pleased with the activities you've done. You're happy with the results that you have, right? I really want you to put yourself in this place, not just think about it. You've accomplished what you want to accomplish in the next 6 months. I want you to think about what that looks like. What are you basing that happiness on? Is it the number of closed transactions? Is it the number in your bank account? Is it the number of families you helped out? What is it that's defining you being happy about that?
I moved out of my parents' house.
We've kicked Abe out. I like it, right? I want you to open your eyes. I want you to write it down, right? Write it down. What is it that's put in your phone, put it on a piece of paper, I don't care, but write this down of what is it that December 31st of this year made you proud of what you've accomplished in the next 6 months. Is it just me, or do we think Steve would look better with like flames on his sunglasses? All right, so you don't have to share this with the group, right? But I really want you to think about this. You're 6 months out, you wrote down what you've accomplished. Now I need you to start backing that up to today, right? So this is how you go through and start figuring out that 411. What do you have to accomplish in the next 3 months to make sure that you're there for 6 months? What do you need to accomplish for the rest of July? So your actions have to match what you're saying those goals are. Otherwise, it's a pipe dream, right? And the pipe dream isn't going to get you anywhere, right? So you've got to start buying into what are the things that you're going to do. And it doesn't mean that you have to be on the phone all day, every day, right? Now, my little ST6 people are realizing to get 26 conversations per day, that's taking some effort.
Yeah.
Right? It's taking some effort, right? They've already started to have the realization, right? Cody and I were talking the other day, it's like, man, this sucks. I want to go see some people. Right? I don't want to be on the phone anymore. Okay, right? And I'm going to challenge him with 2 things. Great. Go find a place to go be in front of people, right? So you can have those conversations. And I know Cody well enough that if being on the phone, God bless you, from 9 o'clock in the morning till noon every day puts the money that Cody wants in his pocket, he's going to suck it up, buttercup, and be just fine with it, right? He's going to hate every second of those 3 hours. And if he makes the money at the end that he wants to make, he's going to go, yep, I'll be miserable for 3 hours a day. Give me my $200,000. Totally fine, right? So we got to balance that. right? The people go, I want to go to the gym and I want to get swollen, I want to get my 6-pack abs. Well, are you willing to eat a skinless grilled chicken breast and broccoli every day for the next 6 months? No, then shut up. It's not gonna happen, right? So as you're looking at what you put down for your future vision casting, you've now got to figure out, are you willing to do the activities to make that happen? And if not, you got to change it. You either have to change your activity level or you have to change it. I'm not going to reach that.
I just realized I'm going to a church event tonight that has 20 people there.
You better talk to every one of them.
I am. Yeah.
And
Right?
you need to make, I mean, if you only had 18 calls today, then you're gonna have 38 conversations
That's
today.
right.
Right. And you need to make sure that while you're there, you're getting more information because we want to put them in. And we were having this conversation earlier, guys. We want to make sure that we don't just waste our time working hard, right? You don't just want to lead gen and work hard and get all these conversations. You want to use the tools that we have at our disposal to be able to follow up and automate this. So every one of those people, if I'm leaving there, like I'm standing at the door, you don't get out of here if I don't have your phone number, your email, your birthday, your address, something.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're going to a place where they already know, like, and love you. So they're going to give you that anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you go to TJ Maxx, right, Steve, right, you probably can't stand at the door and make sure they give you that information before they leave, right? But Steve can, right? He's laughing without moving. There he is.
That's the truth.
But you get my point, right? Right? So, like, just so you guys know, like, so Jessica and Ed and Pam and Justin and Kaylin, right? If they're talking to 26 people a day, right? That's 130 conversations a week. If you just plowing forward having 130 conversations, that's awesome. And what happens when we drop them? And they wanted to do business with us 6 months from now or a year from now, and I didn't have a way to stay on top of that. Well, that was a waste of being miserable for 3 hours doing that lead generation. Let's make sure we stay with them, right? Find a way to stay in contact. Okay? Questions? Okay, last thing I wanted to go and make sure that we have, right? So Lindsay's here. She has her training tonight at 6. It's on Zoom or here in Hammond if you want it. I want to know from the group. I want to know from the people on Zoom. What do you want for additional trainings? So for example, Cody had a contingency thing show up. Well, I talked to Sean Fox and she said, great, I'll do a contingency class to be able to ask and answer questions for your group. Like, it's that simple, we just have to ask, right? So I know that part of your answer is gonna be, well, I don't know what I don't know. And I don't care, right? What do you think that you wanna talk about that you just don't feel comfortable with? And let's figure out what that topic is for a class.
We could have a tax guy in here, that'd be awesome.
Sure, okay, so you need some help with tax info. Okay, what else?
DocuSign.
Ed, chime in.
DocuSign.
DocuSign, okay? DocuSign is being kind of commandy at the moment. It's
Yeah.
it's a little grumpy. So Jill is looking into DocuSign for us, and I put it out to our regional tech person too. So tax stuff, DocuSign. Hey, just so you guys know, in case you haven't seen it, on the KW Connect calendar, Jill and the Market Center are going to start doing basically the 66-day challenge for Command live as workshops, right?
Wow.
So if you want to jump on the computer or YouTube and kind of run with it, do that. Highly, highly, highly recommend that. And if you need more one-on-one interaction workshop stuff, they're gonna be putting out the topics. Go to the Mandeville Market Center, do it. I think she's gonna come to Hammond too and do it. Right? So check out the KW Connect on that, because like we did the contacts one, right? Where we got everybody to download their contacts and put them in, showed them how to do the tags. If you don't have your tags in, take a picture of that and get your tags. Okay, so what else? Tap stuff, DocuSign. Ed, what do you need? Jessica, what do you need? Jessica left. All right, bye.
It's a DocuSign.
Ed, we can't lip read. You're muted.
There. No, I was saying I was in DocuSign hell, so I definitely need the DocuSign.
Okay, DocuSign L, we will get you out of. Okay, what else? What else we need, guys?
I think it'd be cool to have a sales class. I guess, I don't really know how to explain it, but just like a sales class.
NLP stuff or what?
Yeah, I don't. You have to. What would be your goal of the sales class?
Yeah, what would be your learning objective from there? What are you trying to accomplish?
Like sales tactics,
Are you,
stuff like
are you
that.
thinking like
How to get listings?
no
Write your
negotiations?
scripts.
No,
Be an agent like Rayburn.
Well,
So more
would
like
that be part of your scripts?
agent.
yeah, I mean, scripts would be a part of it,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they have sales advice, like sales
That probably
people
sounds
that
like a
come.
good, boot camp day.
Like an objection handler
Like,
kind of deal?
how do you use
That
the
would
right
be part of
scripts, how to handle objections, like what are the different sales tactics that you use? And then kind of being able to kind of skills practice, workshop those out. So that's
Okay.
Closing,
good.
like, not, I don't mean like closing, but like,
Yeah, get like how do you close, how to transition
close
from
the sale.
the conversation to closing the
Right,
sale.
if
Yeah, I
they
get what
don't
you're saying.
just like
Got it.
outright say it,
Okay.
Okay.
how do I say, okay, you want
We'll
to
get
sign
together on that.
mine, you know?
Okay, so I'm gonna go off of that, right? So I'm gonna piggyback off of that. I'm gonna put out a challenge to you guys, right? Serato wanted me to do this for May, and it just was not possible to get set up, right? But now that you guys are starting to have a little bit of interaction, you guys are starting to really step up and go, okay, I'm ready to do this. I would like to do a script off competition, right? They've done them at like mega camps, they've done them at whatever, right? So I'd like to do kind of like a game show, right? We bring up whoever wants to participate, right? We stick you on a stool, whatever in the front, and then we throw, here's the situation, right? The Coach Lindsay is a for sale by owner and go. And Cody, you're first, right? And start, right? And then it's, okay, Pam, you're up. What, like, and then we vote who had the best objection or, right? Okay, you guys are all in competition. All right, here's your objection. I'm going to use the same agent that I used before. What's your response? What's your response? What's your response? Does that make sense?
Yep.
So what does that mean for you guys? You've got to practice and start looking at what are different objections? What are different scripts that I need to start internalizing? If you start doing that, when someone throws something at you, you're like, huh, that old one got it. And you have some options to go with. You can't just BS your way through it though, right? You got to think about where is that, and then is that really the objection that I want to handle? Or do I pivot it to the conversation that we want to have? Does that make sense? Well, I don't want to pay 6%. So really you don't want to pay 6% commission, or do you want to put the most money in your pocket at the end of the transaction? Well, I want to put the most money, like obviously I want to make the most money. Awesome, let's talk about that. It has nothing to do with 6%, it has to do with how much money you want. Does that make sense? That's an objection handler. You got to have that in your tool belt to get it back to the conversation you want to have. How old are you? Does it matter? No. If I sell your house for more money than you can get out on your own, do you care if I'm 18 or 35? No. Awesome. Let's talk about how I get the most money.
I'm old enough to be a part of one of the best teams in Keller Williams.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's how old I am.
Absolutely,
go.
right? So it's all about objection handling. So, quick questions.
Wait, can we?
You wanna do it?
Yeah.
You wanna do it? You wanna do it? You do it? You do it? Ah, peer pressure, I love it. Ed, shake your head up and down. You wanna do it? Yes. Steve-O.
I know Steve wants to do it.
You know Steve wants to do it.
Let's go for it.
There we go, good. All right.
Can't say that with sunglasses.
Right, he can't say that his future's so bright, he's gotta wear shades. All right, so we'll do that, okay? What else do we need?
I would like another one, like that day that we had, Florida League come.
Okay.
Talk about the closing process and some of the contract stuff in there.
Okay,
I'm trying to remember all the stuff, because having a refresher on those.
okay, so we'll keep that, and we'll try to maybe get them to do that once a month or something, where they can come in and do the closing. Okay, so FDL closing class, all right? So I want some testimonials, so Steve and you three, right? When Sean did, and Justin, you were here, I think you might have been here too. When Sean did the small group purchase agreement, where she gave you the listing and you guys had to write it.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
That was super, that was helpful?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's good.
all right,
I wasn't there, but that would be really good.
okay. So here's what I need from you guys, right? So I need to learn how to workshop. But here's what I have to have as we're putting these together, right? Because I'll tell you where my frustration comes in.
And also, I was telling Lindsay that we need another possibly, I mean, I don't know, I feel like I do,
Yep.
is Jenna's end of it, the financing part of it. Because when it comes to negotiating stuff, mortgages and, you know, the price of the home, that's gonna make a big difference, depending on what kind of mortgage they have. You know, how much they're putting down, who's paying the closing costs, and so forth and so on. So it can be so confusing, we're like, I don't know if that's
Okay,
I have no
so,
idea where to go from
Type of lending
so
side.
yeah,
Yeah.
lending, yeah, okay. So here, hold on one second. So here's what I need, right? Don't forget your top.
Yeah.
You guys have got to show up for the workshop.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm gonna tell you the most frustrating thing for us as coaches is we get all these things lined up. I'm all excited about it, and then one person shows up. That's really frustrating because it's one person's life. It is one person. I understand.
It is, but it's also.
$50 an hour, and then we're not with our kids, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's hard for me to go, right? So let's look at it this way. Just got a promotion, assistant team leader.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to go to the assistant team leader and say, hey, will you come teach this class? It's going to be worth your time and energy and effort, and nobody comes.
Yeah.
That's hard for me to go back and say, hey, I know no one came last time, will you do it again? Right? Yes, ma'am. Love you, mean it. So when we have these things, Steve,
Yes, sir.
check the calendar. Right now. When we put it on the calendar, I need you guys to sign up that you're coming, right? So that way we know. Sean, it doesn't make a lot of sense for us to start bringing people in, especially vendors. The Florida League guys, they're both attorneys, guys.
And they
And
can't.
if they come here, that means they're not doing what they do to make money. And luckily we had a good turnout. But if I sign up to get that class again and there's one person here, it's hard for me to look the attorneys in the eye and go, hey, that was really worth our time. Thank you very much. They're not coming again. Right? So please sign up. Sean and I were talking, like 5 or more is really kind of the minimum that we need to have a good interaction and good discussion. Top.
Marketing listings, like how to write a good listing description in the MLS.
Oh, that's a good one.
How to, you know, like KWLS, putting it in there. I don't know how to do that. Short. I don't know. I just signed my first listing documents.
Even the other agents is a good one too.
Right. Yeah. Like the agent
You
companies.
don't know what.
I see agents where it's just like, sure. Like I've been wanting to call about a listing, and the agent just says, schedule through showing time. Then they'll have some weird about how the roof leaks, but they're getting it repaired, but not until after closing. I'm like, is that supposed to be helpful or?
Sure. So let's talk about that one a little bit, right? That's very specific. Remember, you've got 4 main personality types, right? So Rich is an I, right? That's in top one. So when he and I were working on his first input, like he was working on some novella. He was like typing away, right? And I'm literally sitting next to him going, let's go to the next section, right? Because I'm a D and it's bullet point. There's a house. You want to see it? Cool. Come on. Right? Like that's gonna be my agent. Super on front door. Like figure it out. Right? Now, right. So we've got, right, and it was all due to the 14-page dissertation. Right? So,
Look, right now, like thinking about that TikTok with the house, right?
Right.
Like it's a house for sale, come see it.
By.
right.
Give me your best price, like it's a house.
Better come in hard and big.
So I was joking with Kalen at the beginning of this year, right? When he had a property that he listed. I said, Kalen, a year from now, come see me and I'll teach you how to actually market a house. Because you want it? Right, cool. I literally have an offer, I have a cash offer on a house that's not on the market yet. They saw the people with a U-Haul and said, what are you guys doing? They said, we're moving out, let's just sell a house. Give me his number. He called me and said, I'll give you $120,000 cash. It's not even listed, right? The market's insane. So I understand and I hear what you're saying about how do we do that.
Right.
And some of that's going to be the moment of the market of the moment.
Right.
To say, hey, 2 years from now, right? Rich, who hates the idea of going door knocking, that may be a necessity. Right? Right. Perfect. We will hire Caleb. We're doing it, right? But you gotta start thinking about that too. Okay. What else? What else do we need? Steve, anything that you've coming up with?
No, just DocuSign.
Just DocuSign. That's all you need. All right.
Yep.
He's already got all this.
No, I need plenty, but that's just coming through now.
Okay. Justin, anything coming to you? All right. So we're gonna put Justin on the spot. Everybody ready? When are you coming to teach us the video class?
We can set a date for
Good. Take out your calendar.
that. Okay.
Right? So before you leave today, let's get that on there, right? So Justin's gonna come help us just an introductory on little tips and tricks for video. Okay, right? Yes, ma'am.
You said to register, make sure so that you guys know who's coming.
Yes.
So are the PC coaching group, trainings and stuff, are they gonna be on KW Connect?
No, they will. So they will.
The other way.
Yeah, they will not let me put them on KW Connect because we were putting too much on the calendar and it was confusing the other agents.
Oh, okay.
Which I just think is hilarious.
That's
Like
funny.
you can't read and go, oh, that was easy. But okay.
Okay,
So on your calendar,
right, so.
right?
Graciela was able to get it on.
Right. So here's Lindsay's, right? So when you get this invite, right, we're adding all the guests over here. All you have to do is say I'm going. Yes, I'm attending. So then when we look at it,
In the emails that y'all sent?
yeah.
Okay.
So when we look at it, we can go, ooh, hey Lindsay, there's 9 people that are scheduled to come. Yay! Well, now guess what? I can speak for her. That gets us excited.
Right.
When we come with, I can talk to 9 people. Like that's more exciting than, oh, it's
I
gonna
have
be
one.
Good
showing
to
up
meet you,
and
Rich.
One on Zoom, one on Zoom.
right. All by myself. It's not fun. Right? Yes, ma'am. Stop singing. Don't want to sing? No? I always sing that? Yeah? Come here. Come here. No? See, nobody listens to me. Totally fine. All right.
Maybe yours was a break from campus too. Mine are not going to campus week.
No,
And I wish I would have
they've done
put them in campus.
everything else. They've done, they literally go everywhere. All right. So anything else that we need? The top of the hour. We got numbers for you to have conversations, right? I will send that out in email so you guys have that to go from, right? Who's coming to Lindsay's thing tonight? What's our topic tonight? Coach?
Price listings, pricing listings.
Pricing listing.
That came up in another class, that they were struggling with how to pull comps in the MLS and then come up with a good price. So that's what we're gonna do. So no, I don't record, I haven't been recording.
Okay, that means that one.
But if I try to find a different night, because Wednesday night seems to be a tough night.
Always have church, so.
But if it's gonna be a night other than Wednesday, then it's gonna have to be Zoom only. And I won't be able to do it in person because my husband is a home inspector. So he doesn't get home until late, except for Wednesday and Friday. So
Is this
We'll
one
talk
gonna-
about
is
that.
this one gonna be good?
it will be Zoom. Yes, they are all in person or via Zoom.
So 6 o'clock tonight, the Zoom link should be on here.
But if no one's
It
gonna be
is.
in person tonight, then I will just do it from home via Zoom. So
Absolutely. So we'll get across that to double check, right? So is anybody going to be able to attend the class tonight on Zoom? Abe's a no.
I don't even know if I'm gonna be done with my call.
I hear that, Rich.
Steve, can you deal with your boy for me, please? Okay,
I really do. I do want to do my business stuff. I feel like that's something. On here.
you see what happened there? The S and C came out.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
That's another.
Yeah, where's the,
I mean, I will.
Well, it's on your Google Calendar.
Go on.
Okay, so
It's on the PC training calendar right now. That's why it's green.
just look at it. If you can come, but on Zoom, just let me know, and then I will do it just via Zoom from home if everybody can do it.
Yeah, because I'm kind of like in a position, it depends on what exactly happens, like if I'm gonna be home earlier than that, then I'll go on Zoom, but if I have to be here in the office.
And then guys, I can also offer this another day during the week now that don't have to worry about my job from 8 to 4 anymore. I can start offering more. I can start offering more of these during the, like I can do them during the day, during the week.
All right, what else do we need? Anything? We're good.
how will we? Hey, dude, how do you get your, how you get your little things that you've already done to go misty like that?
It does it automatically.
I don't,
When the time's passed.
on your phone or in your list? I don't think it does it on either. Yeah, I doesn't do it.
Give him Steve, he knows how to use a computer. I don't know. I don't know. Set it up. Google makes it happen.
How you do that, bro?
Anthony, what's the class at 6 p.m. tonight about? Is it a dual age? Is it dual career?
The part where I said, hold on, Edmund, hold on. Try again. What?
Is it the class tonight at 6? Is it dual career again?
No, so I don't care if it's dual career, mega agent, doesn't matter. If it's a class and you want to go, go.
What is it though?
The reason it's pricing your listings, it's CMA stuff. So the reason that we put it for dual career is you guys are able to come during the day because you have the ability to work right now. Well, if you're working another job, you can't come to this class necessarily. So we set it up for dual career agents. So if you're working from 9 to 5, we'll come to this class at 6, right? So we can change the time. You can go to any class, whether you're dual
No, I
career.
just wanted to know what the subject matter was tonight.
Yeah, tonight is pricing listings. Pricing listings.
Pricing listings. Okay.
Yep. Hi, Steve.
I will be there.
Ed will be there. I like it.
Yes.
On Zoom or in person?
Are you doing in person or on Zoom, Ed?
Zoom.
Zooming. All right. Steve-O, you come into this
Yes, sir.
tonight or no?
Yes.
Steve will be there Zooming.
through
right.
Zoom.
All right, anything else we need? We're good? Good. All right, appreciate you guys coming. If you have any questions, obviously reach out to me or Coach Lindsay. Cool?
Cool.
Thanks, guys. Yes, sir. Food, you left at like 10:30. I know you went to get food. Oh,
I was gonna get something to eat, but all they had was like.
They just had a muffin.